Today we are going to go over setting multiple TPs and all the different various ways that you can enter and exit trades using TradingView. All right, so there's multiple ways that you can enter in trades, set up your stop losses, set up your take profits in TradingView. We're going to start with the first one. It's not one that I use, but it's one that a lot of people use. It's your short and long position tool. You can find that right here. All right. Let me click in it and you will see that I have a star by it because I have it favorited and it's up here in my favorite toolbar. All right, so the lines with the dot going up, that would be your long position. The lines with the dots going down would be your short position tool. So let's say we're gonna enter a short. All right, so we select it. Let's say my entry is going to be here. All right, move this over. So pretty much already kind of does it for me, right? So of course you got to know where your stop loss is going to be. Let's say my stop loss is going to be at this daily level right here, and my take profit is going to be this daily level down here. Now, as you see in this area, it's already giving you the ratio. 1.49. That's the ratio. So you're at a 1 to 1.5, so to speak. 1 to 2, as you see, if I keep moving, that'll be 1 to 2. Right there. And I'm moving it by just, as you see, as I hover my mouse over this box, how it's letting me know I can go up or down. So I'm just clicking, holding, and dragging. All right. So this is a really, really good tool because it allows you to get your ratios together. It shows you everything. It shows you your stops, what the points are, the amount, 314 ticks. It gives you all of that stuff, right? Now, let's say we want to make this in order. So this is our setup right here. We want to make this in order. All right, so we're going to right click and we're going to click create limit order. All right, now that brings up this box. Okay. And this will be a stop limit order because we're creating an entry, a stop limit, a take profit, stop limit, entry, and take profit, right? So we have to select stop limit. So it has us in on one micro contract. So you can change this. We're going to change it to 5. All right. And as you can see, all these other ones changed to 5. And it also changed the dollar amounts associated with it because we have what? More contracts. So if we do 1, it changes it. Let's say we do 2, it changes it. 3 contracts, it changes it. 4, it changes it. 5, so on and so forth. As you can see, all of these numbers are changing. Right. So what does that do? That allows you to what? You can figure out how much you want to risk. That's why I say always focus on the amount of units and trading micros, because that allows you to do what? It allows you to scale down or scale up, just depending on what you're trading. And it keeps you super flexible, right? As you see, as I'm changing these numbers, you can see these numbers are changing. So if I know I only want to risk $300, then I probably need to be in on 2 micros, 315, or possibly even 1 micro. 150. So you can control all of that. It does all of that for you just by inputting in the units, right? And let's say okay, this is going to be my setup. My entry is going to be here. My take profit there. And excuse me, my stop loss here and my take profit here. Real simple. And all you would do is you would hit sell, right? Because that's the direction that you're setting up. You're setting up a sell order and it's already set up for you. That's your stop loss. So you're risking $150. $57, you're in on 1 contract. It'll show you that everywhere, right? You're taking profits at 312. And if you hover your mouse over here, it's a 1 to 99, which is basically a 2 to 1. That's pretty much what it is. Now, let's say you want to change this. You can just drag it because you're not in the trade yet. You can drag it. Real simple. You can drag it anywhere you want to drag it. You can drag it. So that also gives you it basically identifies what's going on in this trade, right? Your entry is going to be there. You can always move your stop loss around. Move your take profit around prior to entering the trade. If you want to risk less, you want to risk more. But if you risk more, then that changes your R&R, because now the R&R is going to be different when I move this here. And when I just leave that there and then look at our R&R now. Risk reward is a 139. That's not good, right? We want to keep that risk reward something like this, right? Where we want at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward, right? That's what we want. But this right here, this is a great trade based on risk management. Now, we're not talking strategy because we're just speaking hypothetical examples from the sake of just setting our order, right? Our entry, our stop loss, and our take profit. So with that stated, this is good. But as you see, you can control everything right here. Even when you move this, it changes the numbers. Now, if you're going to move this, of course, this box doesn't move with you. The position tool doesn't move with you. You're going to have to move. Like if you decide that you're moving your stop loss here, let's say based on your strategy, your stop loss should be at this previous swing high. Okay, fine. Then just make sure that you move your long position, your short long position tool with you, so you can keep up on what? The ratio. So that means it's 1 to 39. It's okay. It's still a little bit more than 1 to 1, but technically we want to be something like this, right? Okay. So that gives us what? 1 to 7.3. That's still not bad either. We're not upside down. We're risking 226 to make 389. I don't like the ratio, but for the sake of example purposes, because we're just talking about the short and long position tool, it's pretty cool. So you see all that. You see how you can move this stuff around. You can change that. You can change this, but also too, to get accurate readings on that, you need to put your tool in the same places where your stop loss and your take profit is. So this way, you can get accurate readings, right? Now it's a 1 to 5.3. If you want to make it 1 to 2, then you need to have your take profit would be here. That makes it a 1 to 2. But as you see, you can control a lot of this stuff, right? Or let's say you change your mind because we're waiting for price to tap us in. Price is not going to tap us in until price crosses this entry level, our entry price. That's the good thing about this short and long position tool. This can still play around. It can touch all of this stuff. As long as price does not touch this entry level, it never triggers the order. So this is pretty cool. It's kind of like a set it and forget it. Let's say you leave in the house and you see a trade set up. You're like, if it sets up, I'm gonna set it up. And once you tap in, it not only does it engage your order, but it also engages your stop loss and your take profit. Super cool. Let's say you want to go in on 5 micros. All right. So you can move that up, confirm it. And as you see, it changes 5 everywhere. Right. So now the risk is 775 and the reward is 1545, which still puts us at what? That's a 1 to 2 ratio, right? Risk 1, ratio 2. So we're doubling them out. So that's not bad. Let's say you want to change this and go with 3. There you are. 3 units. It even changes here. So that's how you do that. All right. So let's say we don't want the order at all. Once we hit cancel order, it cancels everything. Even though the tool is here, the tool is just a tool. It doesn't, how would I say, engage any orders. All right. So let's say we don't want the tool. So we're just gonna click it and then trash it. All right, cool. So let's say we're gonna go long. Here's our long position tool. We know it's a long position tool because what? The dots are trending up right here. See this? Dots are trending up. All right, let's say we want to go long. Let's say we're going to go long right here. This is our entry point, right? And you can always pull this over. You can move this however you want. And you can even expand it. So let's say that's our entry. Let's say our stop loss is going to be here at this previous swing low. And let's say our take profit is going to be here. So that puts that a 1 to 1.9, like a 1 to 1.2. Not the best, but it's still better than 1 to 1. So that's not bad, right? But once again, we're not talking strategy. We're talking examples for the sake of putting these orders in, right? All right. So then we're going to right click on this box. And we're going to select create limit order. Okay. Now we want to make sure this right here is here because we're not just creating a limit order. We're also creating a stop loss. It's a stop limit order because we're creating a entry, a stop loss, and a take profit. So we want to make sure we click that there, right? And if we like everything the way it's set up, then we just hit buy. And it's there. It's ready to go. So when price crosses this price point, it engages and initiates the order. So let's see if we can get price. We can see it in real time. All right. So price cross. So it engaged us and it engaged the order. We're in the trade now. So now this is our stop loss. This is our take profit. Now, if you want to move these, you shouldn't be moving your stop loss, but if they need to be moved, they just slide. You just grab and slide them. Real simple. Same thing with TP. You can just grab and slide it. Now remember, the tool just allowed us to initiate these levels. But if you move your stop loss, if you move your take profit, then to get an accurate reading, you want to move the tool to that same area, to your target area, right? Which would be there. Now it gives you what? A 1 to 1.72, which is still not a bad ratio. So once you do this, remember the numbers go away as far as what the numbers were here. They go away. They go away. So if you need to keep that in, you should be taking a mental note of that to know that you're risking X amount of dollars and you're making X amount of dollars. So also the way you can do it, you can calculate it. You're in on 1 micro. You already know that's 50 cents per tick. So that lets you know. All you got to do is just do the math. Real simple. All right. So let's say, okay, this trade did whatever it did. It hit your TP. Once it hits TP, what's going to happen is the whole trade, it should pretty much take you out the whole trade. So let's see. I move my TP down real close just to see how this engages. It should hit TP and close out everything. Close out the entry and the stop loss. So we'll see. All right, let's see what we got. Boom. As you see, it hit our take profit and we're totally out of this trade. That's why these long and short position tools are cool. As long as this is here, you're good because there's no order associated with it. It's just a tool, right? But off the tool, you can create an order. So I can go in here, create another limit order, right? Let's move this to stop limit. And we're going to go in on, you can change your contracts here prior, or you can change them here when you get in a trade, however you want to do it, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I'm going to change them here this time just to show you guys the difference. Okay. Let's see here. In it, limit. Okay. What's going on? All right, there we are. Oh, so the thing is that because price was above it, that's why I was giving that little funny, see how it's not at price is above the entry. You see how it's giving this like this, see it says price is invalid for this order because in order to create a limit order, in order to create a limit order needs to be above price. So let me hit this real quick. That's why it's going in and out. You see that? All right, I'm gonna hit it now. Oh, missed it. So that's pretty much why that is happening. Now, I did this to show you guys this. So our entry needs to be above price in order to set this limit order. Boom, it's set. All right, now we're in a trade. Okay, cool. So same thing again. Gives you your ratio here. You can change this however you want. Let's say you want to take multiple TPs, right? Okay, let's do that. So this is what we'll do. We'll move this here. We'll select in there. We'll change this to 2. All right, so that's gonna, let's see here. Can I do it here? Should be able to do it here. All right, cool. So it doesn't allow you to do it with the long and short position tool. That's very interesting. I don't trade with this tool, so I'm learning. I didn't know that. So that means you're locked in with whatever you choose here, which is one of the reasons why I don't use this short position tool, and I'll explain to you why. It doesn't give you the, let's see here. Oh, it does, but can I change this to 3? Cannot. Okay, cool. So if you got in a short and long position tool, what you would probably want to do, since you notice I can't change, this is not allowing me to modify the order quantity. So, and of course I can't do it here because I'm in the trade. So I hit this plus button, right? I selected sell limit and I changed it to 2. All right. So let's move it down. Let's see what happens when price hits it. What should happen is that when price hits this, it should take us out of 2. It should take 2 contracts out of the order. It should bank those 2. Let's see. All right, it did, because look, now it's 3 here, right? So that means what? We need to change this to 3. We need to make sure we match that. And it's still not letting me change that order. That is so weird. Even here, let's see if we can go down to 3 and confirm it. Okay, so what we have both learned here is that what? If you're using a short and long position tool and you set your order, whatever contracts you have in, whatever units you have, it's going to be stuck. It's going to be set to that. That's okay if you're not taking profits along the way. But if you want to take profits along the way, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to exit out of that, because that was the one that was set up with this order, right? And so was this, right? So we'll exit out. We exit out of our stop loss, and we're going to redo our stop loss at 3. Boom. Now it's there. We have to manually do it. All right. Same thing here. It's not going to allow us to modify this. Yeah. So we're going to have to close it and then just redo our sell limit in this order. Sell limit of 3. Boom. And it's in there. Now we have everything lined up to make sure that 3 contracts are going to coincide with this sell stop. 3 contracts are going to coincide with this take profit level. Now, if we want to modify, we can modify. Let's say we want to take, let's just change this. We're going to change this to 2. Confirm it. And then we're going to move it down, right? So that means if price hits that, we're going to have 1 more contract left. So let's see if price will hit it so we can get this example done and you guys can get some understanding as to what's going on when you're taking profits, right? Of course, it wouldn't be this close, but I'm putting it this close because I'm trying to get price just to touch it so you can see how things are changing and how we need to move according to that. Now, remember, I have a TP of 2 because I want to leave a runner. Of course, my stop loss and my entry price, those numbers should always stay the same. The amount of contracts there should always stay the same. That should never change. This number and this number should always be the same. Whatever's here, as far as the amount of contracts, should be here. Real simple. So let's see if we can get price to, let me move this down a little more. I want price to hit that and bank those 2 contracts. And then when it does, this should be showing 1 contract. Hopefully we can get that to happen. Price want to play around right there. Oh, there we go. We might get it. Oh, look at that. Touch the line and look at that. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. Looked like it touched it, but look, it came really close. But it didn't. So we'll see. We'll see. We can get price to touch that. Well, I guess not. But nevertheless, you guys already know where I'm getting at, right? All right. So we can still delete this risk to reward off that's not risk to reward. We can still delete this long position tool off. It doesn't hurt the trade because we're already in the trade and our limit, our order's already in there. So we're good there. If we want to put it back, all we have to do is just reselect it again and we can put it right back how we had it. Real simple. That's easy. All right, so that's done. So I was trying to get, hopefully price would have hit this to where you would have saw it would have banked these 2 contracts and left us with 1. This would have changed to 1. This one would have not changed. So you would have had to manually change this on your own. So just keep that in mind that you always got to be paying attention to your trades. Now, that's if you manually are entering these in, right? If you set it up on a long or short position tool, it's going to stay to whatever it is you had there, and you can totally walk away. It's like a set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about manually, how would I say, watching the trade or manually entering any orders in on that trade. It's going to be real simple. I was trying to see if this would hit for us, just so maybe I'll just bring it even closer down. So you guys can see that from an example perspective, how that works. Maybe we'll get it right here. Boom. All right, you saw that, right? All right, so bank those 2 contracts and left 1. But as you see, the stop loss did not change. And that's the thing that happens when you're in a contract manually. So you got to, be on top of it. You hear that ring, hit your TP. You want to come and you want to change this to 1 now. Confirm it. Because these need to match, right? Your stop loss should always match the amount of contracts that you're in the trade on. All right, very simple. Very simple. So let's close that out. So we did a long position tool, right? Let's say that's your entry. It's where your stop loss is. That's a 1 to 5-7. You want to be at least, that's not bad either, if that's what your strategy calls for. But we always want to make sure we're at 2 to 1. Sometimes I'm at 1. As long as I'm more than 1 to 1, I'm cool. Because sometimes with my strategy, it doesn't play out that way. But for the sake of example purposes, we're gonna set up our long position tool. We're gonna right click on there. We're gonna create limit order. We're gonna make sure this limit right here is now set to stop limit, because we're setting up an entry, a stop loss, and a take profit. And that's done on 1 contract. And look at what we got: 206, 135. That's okay. Not as good as we would want it, right? We want a better risk to reward. It's 1.5. That's still not bad. But we always want to we want to try to be 2 to 1, right? So let's see something here. Go 2 to 1. Whoops. Let's go 2 to 1. So 2 to 1 is 2 to 1 is here. That's another reason why I like this tool. When you're a beginner and you need that extra help to understand where you are and your risk to reward, that tool helps. And then this, you can just slide this up at the very top there. As you can see, when I click on it, you see what it does? It shows the entire profit area of green. You see that? Same thing here. Click on this, and I get to moving it. It shows the entire risk area, right? So it's cool. So look, 133 on my 133.50 is what I'm risking to make 270. 133.50, 133.50. That's exactly 270. So that'll be what? A risk to reward of 1 to 2. That's pretty cool. Now, that's 1 contract. What if we wanted to change that? Make it 6 contracts. Then of course these numbers change along with it. So you can get an idea of being able to manage your risk. Like I was showing you earlier, you can try 1 contract, 2 contracts, because as you see, these numbers are still changing. Take profit and a stop loss. So it gives you an idea of what your risk is going to be. This is how you can figure it out. It also shows you down here your tick value, right here, your tick value. And your reward on here is 1.61%. It even gives you that. So this is saying too, I think that's because, let me see something here. It's saying 1.62 based on this entry at 24,990, 991. Okay, nevertheless, as long as we're doing it in here and we select buy, it'll be good. There we go. That's what we want. Now we're showing some accurate readings now. Because remember, a lot of this price that we're seeing here is based on what price is doing. That's why this doesn't look the same as what we have on our chart. But we know based on the chart, it's 2 to 1. And you can see that because 405 plus 405 would be what? 810. So it's a little over 1 to 2, a little over, and that's fine. So there it is. So that's the way you would do that. Real simple. Once you get in, you would be stuck in on these 3 contracts. You can't change that. I'm gonna show you another way how to enter contracts to where you'll be able to change that. It's the way that I do it, which I like better because I have more control. But this long position and short position tool are really cool tools to use, and you see how you can get into a trade. Very simple. So let's say if I'm going to take a short, right, under here, what I do is I just go to this plus sign over here, get my price where I want to, hit that, and then I hit my sell limit. Oh, I missed it. because price went above it. Let me see if I can get in it. Got it. All right, perfect. So that's what I do, right? I already know where my stop loss is going to be. I already know where my take profit is going to be based on my strategy, right? So what I do is I'll set my stop loss first. That my stop loss is going to be there. We're going to sell, then we're doing a buy stop. Bam. This is where my stop loss is going to be. It's going to be at the previous swing low. All right. That's structure. Now, I don't set my take profit until I get tapped in on the trade. I don't set my take profit until I get tapped in on the trade. And I like to watch it because remember, these are manual orders. So if price comes up here without entering, without getting me in, this buy stop will turn into a sell limit. Yes, it will. So you always want to be careful. So when you're setting it manually, you just want to make sure you keep usually I'll just wait, right? Like I already know what my stop loss is going to be. I already know what my take profit is going to be. Usually I'll just wait to get in the trade first. Because then when I'm in the trade, then my stop loss is really truly a stop loss. Until I'm in the trade, it's just a buy stop. Now I'm in the trade. All right. Now I can say this buy stop is truly now a stop loss. Because if it hits there, it'll take me out the trade. I got in those same contracts. Let's say I'm going to take partials right here of 2, right? So set my limit order and I'm going to change this. And here, 2, confirm. So now I have 2, right? And then that means if price hits here and I'm in 3 contracts, it's going to bank 2 and going to leave me a runner. So I'll take care of the last runner right here. So we'll do this. Actually, we'll do this. We'll take this 1, confirm. Let me confirm here. Then let's go here and we'll take this to 2 and we'll confirm over here. All right, so now look at that. That takes care of my 3 contracts. So if price comes here, it's gonna bank 2 contracts when price touches here. And then what will I have to do at that point? I'll have to change this 3 to 1, right? And then the next thing I'll have to do is I'll move this just above or just below my entry, right? Because I got a runner in there, right? I can bring it here. I can bring it anywhere. I always like to bring it just a little bit below if I'm on a sell, above if I'm on a buy, just to at least take care of the fees. Because even right here, if it takes me out $22, like it comes back and takes me out at $22, that's cool because guess what? That'll be at least enough to pay for the fees for that 1 contract and leave me a little bit of bread at the same time. So there that is. And it's very simple. It's the same thing for a buy. So price coming down. I'm gonna move this up here. All right. So maybe price can come down and hit this. That'll take us out. Let me put it a little bit closer. I'm just doing this just for example purposes. Of course, I wouldn't be taking partials this close to entry, but this is for example purposes. So let's see if we can get price to come down here and hit this. And then we'll only be in the trade on 1 contract. So let's see what we get. I need to move it a little bit closer. All right, let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Look at that. Wicked right before it. Yes, it did. All right, maybe I'll come back to hit this take profit of 2 contracts. Perfect. All right. Now, I don't know why this thing is saying 5. It's supposed to be saying 2. Oh. When you put in the wrong order, right? This should be a buy limit. What am I doing? All right. Buy limit. And another buy limit. All right. So this should be 2. Confirm. All right, so you saw what happened. I put in a sell limit instead of a buy limit, and that sell limit basically is what? It's like putting another sell order in, right? So that's what happened there. That's why you saw this went to 5, right? Not 1. So now we are, well, price is just going on, but at least you can see we have everything set up to take multiple TPs. We can even change this. We could even do this. Let's do a buy limit again. We could do 1 here, confirm. We can do 2 here. We can do 3 there, 1 here. However you want it, you can do it. However you want it, long as this amount equals this. If you want to take, let's say you want to do 5 take profits. You want to take profit, or you want to just trim a contract every time. You can trim a contract every time. You can put them wherever you want them. Click on that, do that, boom. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 buy limits. That means when price is here, it's going to take a contract away. Going to bank this one, bank this contract, bank this contract. Every time it's taking one contract away, you'll be seeing one deducted from here. Now, this needs to have show 5 contracts, because what? We're in on 5 contracts. So entry price and stop loss should always be the same. No matter what's going on here, whatever's here, supposed to be here. And whatever's here should add it up. D should add up to whatever this is. So we got 5 contracts, we got 5 take profits. Let's say we want to just only do 2 take profits. Okay, we'll get rid of this one. We'll get rid of this one. And we'll get rid of this one. We'll make this one 3. Confirm. And we'll make this one 2. Confirm. Now, what does that do? That covers what? Our 5 contracts that we have. Let's say you want to do 2 here. Okay, confirm. And then you want to do 3 here. Confirm, there's your 5. You can do it however you want it. Let's say you don't want this anymore. Let's say you want to do 2. Then you want to do another 2. Then you want to let that last one run. And there it is. You still got 5. However you want to do it, you can switch it around. I believe you can even move these around too. Yeah, you can move these around if you want to. Change your mind. You're like, you know what? I'm going to put this here, put this here, put this here. Like, you can move these around. You can move it around. Real simple. All right. So now let me close out of this. And let's go ahead and do a buy. Let's say we're going to buy at this level right here at this price, limit order, buy limit. We're going to do it on 5 micros. Confirm it. Okay, we got 5 micros, limit order, ready to go. Let's say this up here is going to be our take profit of, say we're going to call it 3 contracts. We'll call it 2. We're going to trim our position, 2 contracts there. And then we're going to do another 2 here. Sell limit, 2 is already there. We don't need to modify it. And this one is going to be the last one to make a total of 5. We need to modify this to 1. Confirm. All right, that takes care of my 5 contracts. Now, I haven't set my stop loss because I'm not in the trade yet. So once this trade initiates, my stop loss is here. See, it's showing 1 because what? I set up all these limit orders. So let's do our sell stop and let's modify this to match the amount of contracts in our entry. Sometimes this confirm don't work. Just use this one. It works sometimes and then sometimes it doesn't. It's been a little glitchy. So go in here, you're always safe. And there it is. 5 micros for the buy, 5 micro sell stop, 2 micro sell limit, 2 micro sell limit, 1 micro sell limit. These are your TPs, your entry, your stop loss. Very, very simple. And once again, you can move these around. You can change it however you want to change it. Very, very simple, very easy way to set multiple TPs when you're trading. So hopefully you guys got a lot of good information from that. I try to make it simple, try to make it easy to follow along. I think that was pretty straight to the point. If you have any questions, just reach out when we're on stream, hit me up. You can DM me whatever you want, however you need to get in contact with me. But that is a really, really easy way to set multiple TPs on TradingView and to just use, also using multiple tools. You can do it manually. You can use a long position tool, the short position tool, however you want to do it, you can do it. And remember, using the long and short position tool allows you to check your R&R. And also you can it's kind of like plotting a trade before you even plot it, right? You can see some dollar amounts. You can see what you're getting into before you even enter that trade. So with that said, thank y'all for tapping in on this one. And yeah, man, I hope that helps y'all. All right, I'll catch y'all on the next gym.